Have you ever poured your soul into someone, your time, your effort, your dreams, only to be left with the cold sting of the words, "I just don't feel it anymore"? In that moment, everything you gave feels erased. The late night calls, the sacrifices, the endless patience, it all dissolves into silence. And what remains is a haunting question: was I not enough? But here's the truth most men never see: loyalty isn't built on your actions alone. You can buy gifts, write long messages, and plan perfect dates, but if your presence doesn't ignite emotion, it all fades into nothing. Women are not bound to what you do, they are bound to how you make them feel. And that, my brothers, is where true power lies. Not in chasing, not in proving, not in begging, but in mastering the art of emotional impact. Today on Shining Mirror-LVB, we'll uncover the hidden psychology of love and loyalty, why it slips through the hands of some men, and how others make it unbreakable. Effort is not loyalty. You can buy the flowers, you can book the fancy dinners, you can flood her with compliments, gifts, and attention, and yet she can still walk away without looking back. Why? Because effort alone does not equal loyalty. Here's the harsh truth: if your actions are fueled by fear, fear of losing her, fear of not being enough, they reek of desperation. And desperation doesn't inspire love, it suffocates it. When a woman senses that your every gesture comes from insecurity rather than strength, those gestures lose all their power. Think of it this way: effort without emotion is like pouring water into desert sand. No matter how much you give, it seeps away, leaving nothing behind. Real loyalty is not about how hard you work to keep her, it's about how deeply she feels when she's with you. Effort is the outer shell, emotion is the soul. Without soul, even the grandest gestures feel empty, hollow, forgettable. But when your presence carries weight, when your silence speaks louder than gifts, when she feels something unshakable just by being near you, that is when loyalty is born. Emotion is the real currency. Think about John. He worked tirelessly for his partner, bought the flowers, planned the dates, paid the bills. On paper, he did everything right. And yet, one day he still heard the coldest words a man can face: "I just don't feel it anymore." That's the brutal truth. It wasn't the lack of effort, it was the lack of emotional connection. Because effort is measurable, but emotion is unforgettable. Real loyalty isn't purchased through material gestures. It's forged in the invisible bond you create with her, the way she feels safe in your presence, the way your confidence calms her storms, the way your laughter lights up her darkest days. That's the treasure no gift can replace. Flowers wilt, gifts fade, even memories blur, but emotion stays carved into her soul. A woman can forget what you bought her, but she will never forget how you made her feel. If you want true loyalty, stop trying to impress her wallet deep. Instead, impress her heart deep, because emotion, my brothers, is the real currency of connection. Energy behind actions. The same action can tell two completely different stories. A flower handed over with fear doesn't smell like love, it smells like desperation. Its hidden message is, "Please don't leave me. Please see my worth." And the moment she feels that energy, she also feels the weight of your insecurity. But that very same flower, when given with confidence, carries an entirely different vibration. It says, "This is who I am. My world is abundant, and I want to share it with you." That gift feels light, powerful, magnetic. It comes not from emptiness, but from overflow. Here's the hard truth: women don't just respond to what you give, they respond to the energy behind it. Every action is infused with the emotion that created it. If you give out of fear, she feels fear. If you give out of strength, she feels strength. The lesson is simple yet profound. What you feel when you give, she feels when she receives. That's why mastering your energy, your presence, your confidence, your intention is far more important than the gift itself. Because in the end, a man's true gift is his state of being. Neediness kills love. Mike thought he could secure love by constantly spending dinners, vacations, gifts stacked one after another. On the surface, It looked generous, but beneath it all, there was a hidden weight, a silent demand. Now you owe me loyalty. Now you can't leave me. And here's the truth most men don't want to face. Women can feel that energy instantly. Instead of feeling cherished, she feels pressured. Instead of gratitude, she feels trapped. What was meant to hold the relationship together becomes the very thing that suffocates it. Love is not a contract. It's not a transaction. You cannot swipe your credit card and expect her heart to stay. True loyalty cannot be bought, it must be inspired. And the only way to inspire loyalty is not through gifts, but through presence, through the way you carry yourself, the way you bring calm when storms rise, the way you light up a room with your energy. A woman doesn't stay because of what you buy her. She stays because of how you make her feel safe, alive, desired. Here's the bottom line: neediness repels, strength attracts. If your love is a desperate attempt to hold on, she will slip through your fingers. But if your love is rooted in confidence and abundance, she will never want to let go. Stand for your values. Here's a truth that separates men who are merely tolerated from men who are deeply respected. A man who betrays himself to please others loses everything. When you stand firm in your values, whether it's integrity, honesty, discipline, or vision, you send a powerful message without ever needing to raise your voice. I cannot be bought. I cannot be manipulated. I know who I am. Women may test you. They may push boundaries, question your decisions, or even challenge your resolve. But they're not doing it to destroy you. They're doing it to feel your strength. Because deep down, every woman wants to know, is this a man I can lean on? Is this a man who won't crumble under pressure? And here's where most men fail. They think saying yes to everything will win love. But in reality, it breeds resentment. It communicates weakness. It says, my need for your approval is greater than my respect for myself. And nothing kills attraction faster than that. Personal insight. Self-respect is magnetic. A man who honors his boundaries, who walks away from what disrespects him, radiates an energy that commands loyalty more than any gift, any compliment, any sacrifice ever could. Because at the end of the day, gifts fade, words are forgotten, but values make you unforgettable. Leadership, not control. There's a fine line every man must learn to walk, the line between leadership and control. Robert once lived on the wrong side of that line. He begged, he pleaded, he sacrificed his backbone in the name of love. And what happened? His family felt the weight of his desperation. They didn't feel loved, they felt suffocated. But the moment Robert stopped chasing and started standing, living with calm conviction, moving with quiet authority, everything changed. His presence no longer screamed, "Don't leave me." Instead, it whispered, "You are safe with me." This is the American truth. Leadership in love is not about domination. It's not about barking orders or controlling outcomes. It's about guiding with strength, creating stability, and inspiring trust. A real leader doesn't need to shout. His consistency speaks louder than words. His discipline creates respect. His vision builds loyalty. And here's the paradox: the less you try to control, the more natural influence you have. Because control pushes people away, but leadership, true leadership, pulls them closer. Remember this: love doesn't need a master. Love needs a captain. Loyalty is like sand. Picture this: you scoop a handful of sand from the beach. If you squeeze it tight, it slips right through your fingers. But if you hold your hand open, relaxed, the grains rest softly in your palm. Loyalty works the same way. The harder you grip, checking her phone, questioning her every move, demanding constant reassurance, the faster loyalty crumbles. Not because she didn't care, but because pressure suffocates love. Real loyalty cannot be forced. It thrives in freedom. When a man is confident enough to give space, to trust, to lead without fear, he becomes magnetic. She doesn't stay because she has to. She stays because she wants to. And that's the truth most men miss. Control kills, but freedom inspires. If you want loyalty, stop clutching it like a desperate man. Open your hand, Open your heart, that's when loyalty becomes unshakable. At the end of the day, women are not loyal to what you do, not to the dinners, not to the gifts, not even to the sacrifices. They are loyal to one thing, and one thing only: how they feel in your presence. So here's the real question every man must ask himself. When she's with you, does she feel safe? Does she feel seen? Does she feel inspired? Do you radiate the kind of energy that makes her want to rise higher, just by standing next to you? Because if you carry that presence, you will never need to beg for loyalty. It will come to you, naturally, effortlessly, unshakably. Now I want to turn it over to you. Have you ever given everything, only to watch love slip away? Or have you ever felt someone's presence so deeply that loyalty became effortless? Share your story in the comments, I want to hear it. And don't forget, this is Shining Mirror-LVB. If this message brought you value, hit like, subscribe, and share so we can spread this truth to men everywhere.